And the best film goes to The Ties That Bind Us by Karine Tardieu.
Tu connais rien au petit garçon, t'as pas d'enfant.
Welcome to our special edition dedicated to French cinema's Night of Nights, Les Césars. The César ceremony took place at Paris's Olympia Theatre on Thursday. Our film critic Ben Croll is here to take us through all the winners and the losers.
You have to have both, unfortunately.
Of the night. Let's start with the winners, though, and we'll start with the film we just saw at the top there, The Ties That Bind Us.
Yeah, The Ties That Bind Us is a very traditional kind of French production in the sense that it's an intimate character drama driven more by stars than by spectacle. Valeria Bruni-Tedeschi plays a single woman who becomes the caretaker for a young boy living next door once that young boy's mother dies. The actors Pierre Marmaille and Vimela Pons play the ill-fated couple living next door. Both were nominated for César, and Vimela Pons actually won for Best Supporting Actress, alongside the prize for Best Adapted Screenplay. It's proof in a certain way that a good script and the right cast can take you all the way.
Well, let's take a look then at The Ties That Bind Us.
Il faut que je te dise quelque chose de très triste au sujet de maman.
Elle est morte.
Ouais.
E me perdoe se eu insisto neste tema, mas não sei fazer.
Est-ce qu'Alex l'aimera plus que moi?
Un père a de la place pour tous ses enfants.
Sauf que je suis pas son enfant.
The Ties That Bind Us won the top prize, but it hardly swept the ceremony. The César voters really wanted to spread the love around. They also celebrated films like The Richest Woman in the World, which is a very satirical take on the Bettencourt affair and scandal, and Case 137, which is a more sober look at police violence against the Gilets jaunes. The actor Laurent Lafitte won Best Actor for The Richest Woman in the World. Léa Drucker won Best Actress for Case 137, but those films won no other prizes. In fact, the night's second biggest winner, you could say, was Nouvelle Vague, Valentine to the French New Wave, shot in French and in France by an American filmmaker, Richard Linklater. Linklater, incidentally, became only the second American filmmaker to ever win the César for Best Director. The film also won prizes for costume, editing, and photography. While Linklater came to France to shoot the film, he really wanted to make it a Valentine to all filmmakers that have that independent spirit, that don't take no for an answer, that pick up the camera and create their own mark on film history, like Jean-Luc Godard did when he made Breathless, which is obviously the subject of Nouvelle Vague, and like Richard Linklater himself did when he kickstarted his own career. Let's take a look at Nouvelle Vague.
Moteur, Raoul. Moteur, Raoul.
Moteur, Raoul. Moteur.
En 2 semaines, on a eu 8 demi-journées de travail.
D'ailleurs, je pourrais très bien vous laisser tomber, vous et votre film.
Faut commencer à comprendre. À demain.
Chaque film est constitué de 5 films différents. Le film qu'on écrit, le film dont on distribue les rôles, le film qu'on tourne, le film qu'on monte et le film qu'on sort.
Now, Ben, unlike previous years, there were lots of winners at the ceremony, but no real standout winners. And this is something you were telling me about before.
Yeah,
it was a bit of an off year.
It reflects, I guess, what you would call an off year for French cinema. I mean, the box office was down, attendance was down, and that was linked to the fact that, in fact, there were fewer blockbuster films, fewer event films, and also no real auteur breakouts from the Cannes Film Festival or really any other festival. And so overall, French films just sort of drew a lot less buzz last year, and that was reflected in a César ceremony that, didn't really, find any single center of gravity. In fact, you could say that really the biggest French film internationally last year, and it's still going strong, is Arco, an animated film that premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. Was directed by Hugo Bienvenu and was produced by Natalie Portman. Since Cannes, the film played at the Annecy Festival, where it won the Best Animated Film at the Annecy Animation Festival. It won 2 Césars last night for animation and for music, and it is next to compete and it will next compete at the Oscars in a few weeks' time. It's further proof that animation is honestly one of French cinema's strong points right now. And after films like I Lost My Body in 2019 and Flow last year, Arco is just further proof that animation is going very strong in France. We're going to take a look at Arco.
some really beautiful images there in Arco. What were some of the more moving moments of the night? Obviously, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, absolutely. Jim Carrey. You know, Jim Carrey was introduced before he was awarded the César of Honor, the honorary César, by the actress Camille Cottin, who was the president of the ceremony. And she called him on stage, introducing him as one of cinema's greatest actors. And I think that's undeniably true. He is truly one of cinema's greatest actors and one of the great movie stars.
And great comic actors.
Well, I mean, comic actor is just using the term comic actor is already kind of,
pigeonholing him?
Yeah, it's kind of pigeonholing him. And that was really what last night's honor was all about. Up until last night, and this is crazy, Jim Carrey had never won a single major award.
Wow.
I mean, his long career started over 40 years ago. His first film was with Francis Ford Coppola. He's obviously made auteur films. He's made films like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, The Truman Show, which is, but he's still best known for his comedic work and best loved for his comedic work. And sometimes, indeed, comedic actors get pigeonholed and don't get what they're deserved, don't get their due. Last night was a corrective for that, and it made for a truly moving moment when he collected his honorary César.
Well, let's take a look then at what Jim Carrey had to say as he received that accolade at the César.
I feel as if I just won the lottery, and but it's also a feeling of like weirdly coming home, because my lineage comes back here, and to the same port of Jacques Cartier, who discovered Canada. So it's something more special.
So, Ben, there were obviously other moving moments as well. I'm thinking, of course, of Iranian actress Golshifteh Farahani.
Indeed. Well, the César, giving the award to Richard Linklater, the award to Jim Carrey, and obviously the speech from Golshifteh Farahani really made it a very international event. And that was made all the more apparent when Farahani, a French-Iranian actress who's lived in France for almost 2 decades now and is, in fact, not even allowed to go back to her native Iran, took the stage to deliver a very impassioned tribute to Jafar Panahi, who won the Palme d'Or and who was in attendance at last night's ceremony, and really to the Iranian people writ large. I mean, she talked about the need to stand in solidarity with them, and she spoke of their courage, which is, I think, undeniable. In fact, I spoke with her on the red carpet earlier last night, and we're going to hear what she has to say right now.
Sometimes here we say, when 40,000 people are getting shot, Iranians around the world fall to the ground. It's very difficult. Iran is truly in a state of general mourning. We're all a little broken. But I hope, and I know, that things will change.
Now, speaking of Iranian director Jafar Panahi's film, it was just an accident, won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival last year. It's been nominated for an Oscar in the Best International Feature Film category. It didn't get a lot of love, though, at Les Césars yesterday.
It's interesting. It's nominated for an Oscar in the International Feature Film category, representing France. And last night, it was not nominated for Best International Film. It was nominated for Best French Film. It was shot in secret in Iran, but completely funded by, French different funding sources. It is a French film by any standard. I think that maybe the fact that there was some confusion as to whether or not it was a French film, whether or not it was an Iranian film, might have hindered it a little bit. At the same time, the two biggest winners from last year's Cannes Film Festival, French winners from last year's Cannes Film Festival, were Panahi's Palme d'Or winner. It was a simple accident. It was just an accident. And Hafsia Hersi's The Little Sister, which won the Best Actress prize at Cannes for the star Nadia Meliti, and the Queer Palm for obviously Best LGBTQ film. Last night, The Little Sister won the Best French Newcomer for Nadia Meliti, but no other prizes, which is too bad. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I think awards in Cannes echo far more internationally than the César. I mean, no offense to the César, but a film that comes out of Cannes really launches into the international stratosphere, which is why this morning, as we are talking about last night's winners, hundreds upon hundreds of editors, sound mixers, directors, composers, musicians are hard at work getting next year's crop of Cannes film ready. The Cannes Film Festival starts in only 2 months. I know it sounds crazy to say, but hundreds of people around us right now are working on making sure that next year's Cannes Film Festival is even more fruitful, and it's coming up fast.
Well, indeed, it's just in a few months, as you said. Let's look ahead to this year's Cannes Film Festival, actually. South Korean director Park Chan-Wook has been named as president of the jury this year. He's actually the first South Korean director to ever hold this position at the festival.
He's only the third Asian director in film history to hold that very prestigious position, and the last one was Wong Kar-wai almost 2 decades ago.
Wow.
So it really is quite a monumental jury choice. I should say that he was also, and is also, the first former film critic to become a film festival jury president. So I have very professional and personal reasons to believe that he is going to be the greatest jury president of all time.
Wow, you've said it there, Ben.
After his work as a film critic, he became one of the most heralded South Korean filmmakers. His work at Cannes has never really walked away empty-handed. In 2004, his film Old Boy won the Grand Jury Prize. In 2009, his film Thirst won the Jury Prize.
The vampire drama.
The vampire drama Thirst, won the Jury Prize. And his feature Decision to Leave won Best Director in 2022. His most recent film, No Other Choice is now playing in French cinemas. It's doing quite well. I highly recommend anybody watching this to go see it and catch up with all of his work ahead of Cannes, where he will be, the man of the hour. A very richly deserved honor for a film critic, if you know what I mean.
Well, thank you so much, Ben, for that roundup there of Les Césars, and also the film you should be watching now, No Other Choice, by Park Chan-Wook, who will be the jury president at this year's Cannes Film Festival. Let's leave you with a look at that. Thank you so much for joining us today on Arts24. See you next time.
미국에서는 해골을 도끼질한다고 그런다면서요. 한국에선 뭐라 그러는지 아세요? 넌 뭐가지야?